in the deep sleep, the blankness has been that's what it's been witnessed. I mean, the waking.
No. Sleep appears to be a blankness only from the perspective of ego in waking and dream.
Mm.
In sleep, there is no blankness. In sleep, there is just awareness of being, Satchit. It's only from the perspective of ego in waking and dream where we say, oh, sleep was a state of, of blankness. But in sleep, we are not aware of any blankness. In sleep, all we're aware of is I am, our own being.
Existing.
Yeah. Has that answered your question?
It answered, it clarified, because all this while I was thinking waking state, then we have a dream state, and then there is a deep sleep, which is a blankness. Yet all the three are being witnessed by that pure consciousness, which is that impersonal awareness.
No, but pure consciousness is only aware of itself. It's not aware of anything else. The three states exist only in the view of ego.
Okay.
But sleep is actually a state of pure awareness. Sleep is the eternal state, it's the background, from which arise ego in waking and dream. But from the perspective of ego, sleep seems to be one among three states. So it seems to be defective. It seems to be impermanent. It seems to be a temporary state. Sleep is defective only from the perspective of ego, because from the perspective of ego, sleep has a beginning and it has an end.
Yes.
But actually, sleep has no beginning and end. Sleep is eternal. It is the rising of ego in waking and dream that makes the non-rising of ego in sleep, makes that seem to be a third state. But actually, all that exists in sleep is that eternal Satchit. So when we are investigating ourselves in the waking or dream state, we are turning our attention back to that fundamental awareness and subsiding back into that. If we in sleep, when we go to sleep because of tiredness. So though all what exists and shines in sleep is only Satchit, but that doesn't destroy ego, because that Satchit remains alone after the subsidence of ego. So in order to bring about the destruction of ego, ego needs to experience itself as Satchit. But ego can never experience itself as Satchit, because as soon as ego experiences itself as Satchit, it ceases to be ego and remains as Satchit.
Mm.
So the difference between manolaya and manonasa, that any temporary dissolution of mind is manolaya. That is sleep, swoon, general anesthesia, coma, nirvikalpa samadhi. These are all temporary dissolution of mind. They are all brought about by some means other than knowing ourselves. Sleep is brought about by tiredness. General anesthesia is brought about by drugs. Coma may be brought about by some brain injury or something. Swoon may be brought about because of excessive heat or something. Nirvikalpa samadhi is brought about by pranayama and other yogic exercises. So because they are brought about by some means other than knowing ourselves, they are temporary. So we rise again. Manonasa is permanent dissolution of mind, permanent dissolution of ego. That is brought about by ego experiencing itself as Satchit. Because as soon as ego experiences itself as Satchit, it ceases to be ego and remains as Satchit. In other words, ego is a false awareness of ourself. I am this body. I am Raghu. I am Michael. That is a false awareness. When we are aware of ourselves as I am I, nothing other than I, we then cease to be ego and remain as we actually are. So it's only by, that's why it is said in classical Advaita, it is only by vidya that avidya can be destroyed. But the vidya that it will bring about, the avidya is nothing but ego, the false awareness, I am this body. The vidya is nothing but the correct awareness, I am I, nan nane.